We're learning today. It's like a science lesson. Thanks, Jen.
All right, hey, we as the media are part of the show in the Henley Street Theater's new production of Richard III.
So we invited actor Scott Wichmann, who will be playing Richard III, to be part of our show this morning. Hey, good
morning.
to see you.
Morning, Scott.
How are you?
Thanks for
How you
coming.
doing?
Yeah.
What is it like to take on a role, Richard III?
Well, this is one that I've been wanting to get a crack at for a long time, about 10 years. They call it the character actor's Hamlet, you know. So it's one where you've got a challenge physically to create a character who's sort of deformed and both sort of inside and outside. And you know, it's also a chance to play a villain. And I've come from a comedy background, so that's really going to be a neat switch for me.
Now, looking at this production with Richard III, it's like sort of a modern twist, modern flair, using multimedia and using sort of the political campaigns now as sort of a kind of a nice parallel.
Well, the way in which Richard uses his influence to get the crown, he bumps off everyone that's in his way, so it's a very kind of diabolical. He's the character that you love to hate. He appropriates a very powerful tool, which is the media. He controls the flow of information. And so we decided to sort of make a commentary about that or use it as a storytelling tool. And so when you go, you'll see about 9 prepackaged pieces ranging from pundit shows, sort of very, I guess you'd say, familiar elements. So, you know, we wanted to make a statement about how powerful this is, right, and what can happen when it gets into the wrong hands and stuff like that.
I've always thought it would be fun to play a villain.
Yeah, it is really, it's great. And the interesting thing about it is no lines have been changed, although it is in a modern context. Nothing's been changed. It's all, you know, verbatim Shakespeare. And we found some really interesting creative ways to make it fresh and timely. And so if you've been sort of afraid of tackling a Shakespeare production because of the density of it, and if you've imagined, you know, a guy in tights and, you know, sort of bloomers in the billowy shirts talking to a skull or something like that, this is not your father's Shakespeare. It's a different cup of tea entirely, and we hope that people will come out and check it out.
Bloomers.
Yeah, what's it like to incorporate the multimedia and electronics into the production, and do you like it? Do you see it really as a sort of a theme?
I like it a lot. I think it's a different, it's something we've never tried before as Henley Street Theater. They're in their 2nd year. I've never been a part of a production like this, and when we first got the packages, they were done pro bono by G2 Productions. When we first got them and did them in the tech rehearsals, it just added in a completely different layer, and everybody really was amped up, you know, both the cast and the crew. So it makes it really, it breaks things up nicely, and it's really, going to be something special and different.
I remember, you know, reading Shakespeare for the first time in high school and trying to get used to the language. Is it challenging as an actor to learn lines that aren't really lines like we usually talk, or are you just used to it by this point in your career?
Well, the syntax is very different. Once your ear gets tuned to it, it's very easy to figure out what's going on. I had the same experience in high school, sitting there and sort of, my name was W, so I was in the back row and I was almost asleep in my English book. But you know, Shakespeare was designed to be played. It was designed to be, you know, sort of acted out. And so it's a different experience reading it than seeing it active and alive. And I think if you have druthers about, am I going to be able to understand this, rest assured you absolutely will. That's our job, is to bring it to vibrant life, and we do that, and with a lot of enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Scott, I have to ask, what does that say about Shakespeare's writing that you know, 400 or 500 years later we're still actually producing Shakespeare plays?
In different ways.
I heard somebody say one time that Shakespeare was the most human who ever lived, and for 500 years his plays have endured all the stuff that we keep doing. We manipulate them in different ways. They are built to last and stand the test of time, and we hope that people will come and check our production out.
Timeless. Sorry. Hey, Scott, nice to see you. Good luck with it, and break a leg.
Here's the info.
Listen, yeah, Henry Street Theater will be presenting Richard III starting tomorrow night through October 18th. Shows are set for the Pine Camp Arts and Community Center. Good stuff.
All right. Now, it is time to check in with our friend Sam Brock.